this was kind of put on our radar this past weekend for Blabs. You saw this. This was initially put on our radar by Blame Truth, who's been on the show before, and he saw this from a fairly small YouTuber called I don't really know how to say his name, Sabone KD, I'm guessing. Now this guy has 549 subscribers, doing really good work exposing the stuff. I encourage you guys to go over and do what I'm going to do. Hit the subscribe button here. Really, what he's done here, and we could react to this whole video, but we're not going to. But he lays out the idea of what this ToxMod is doing. Now, Flash, have you heard of ToxMod before?
I haven't. You explained it a little bit before the show, but it's crazy what it's doing.
So ToxMod on its surface over at modulate.ai, ToxMod for gaming, they say makes voice chat safe. And this is the company that Activision is using to moderate all voice chat on their
some
other
games. Companies too. Look at this. Called Grand Theft Auto Online.
Yep. Lots of folks working with this company here. They found a way to...
This is so stupid. Just fucking hit mute or don't get in voice chat if you're that soft about it.
Yes.
These people would not have survived Modern Warfare lobbies.
They don't have to anymore because those Modern Warfare lobbies don't necessarily exist.
They don't.
No, because they have now, this has been removed. But what's interesting about this is they have this PDF that they put together, and in it, they cite toxicity in games. They say, let's start the obvious. Modern online games and metaverse platforms have become far more social than their predecessors, but depends what your definition of social is. While historically games focused on providing a specific curated experience to the player, they are now more akin to a space for players and their friends to congregate, from which the social group might choose a variety of experience to partake in. And they talk about the shift coming in 2020 with the quarantine periods, right, and the boost of players here. And they talk about what they do. Now, what's interesting about this take here, they give you these stats. 5 out of 6 adults between 18 and 45 experienced harassment in online player games. This is courtesy of the ADL. They link this here.
Oh, the ADL.
Hate is no game. Hate and harassment in online games, for courtesy of the ADL. This prevalence has significantly impacted the public perception of gaming, as 80% of players believe the average gamer makes prejudiced comments while playing online. In reality, the vast majority of toxicity comes from a small contingent of repeat offenders.
Yeah, the one out of the 6.
Right. Typically making up no more than 5% of the users, or on even the most unregulated platforms. But the small number of bad actors has a disproportionate impact. Okay, so they're saying 5% of the gamers are, this is actually kind of funny when you think about it, 5% of the gamers are harassing 83% of people.
Can't you just mute that one person then, you bitch?
I mean, it's pretty funny when you
get into a Discord. Go into a Discord and just do a call and play your games that way, and stop ruining it for everybody.
But I do want to go back and kind of take a look at some of this guy's video here, Sabone's video, and they talk about some of the strategies that were put in place and some of the data that they've got. We're gonna pick this about midway through, about 4 minutes in. I encourage you guys to check out this video in its entirety. Let's just kind of see where this goes here.
They're indicating what they think.
I'm gonna back up a little bit.
Get upset when they're called slurs and they're called various names and various words are used. And so it's understandable. However,
no, it's not. What are the various words?
And that's kind of what he goes into, is these guys become the arbiters of truth, right? This goes a little bit further as far as how people can, why people are banned, because this is all done through AI. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit so we can kind of get through this a little quicker here. But let's see how this goes.
The way that they implement this, it's not a ban list, and they're pretty clear about that they're not making a list of words that are banned. What they're doing is they're analyzing us as we talk about the game, and then they're applying their idea of corrective actions. They're indicating what they think, how they think we should be behaving in the game, and they're applying it through their AI. And then what they do is they send only the things, only the phrases and the audio cuts that they deem offensive out for a human to look at. So what you find, and I'm going to point out here that they proudly point out that they've actioned and voice banned more accounts during their trial period that this white paper is based on than Activision has done cheaters. The Activision cares more about controlling what we say than actually controlling cheaters in their game.
Think about that. That says a whole hell of a lot right there. The idea that they're banning voice as opposed to fixing their game. It's really crazy. It's 1985 shit here. 1984 shit. Sorry.
They talk about the integration and how they're going to use their technology to apply the code of conduct, which is extremely vague in and of itself,
Of course.
to conversations.
That's intentional.
Yeah, we've talked about that before. The intentionally vague code of conduct. So there's so much gray built into it that they can say, "Well, it's in the code of conduct," and people go, "Oh, well, I guess it's in the code of conduct." But you're 100% correct. It's intentionally gray, so then they can push it a little bit further.
On the surface, not bad. Got to point out too that it does impact latency. So, this runs on the same servers that our game runs on. So probably getting in the way of things. Our servers are not great right now. But what they do is they have a 3-step process. They have triage. They talk about, they identify a phrase that might be an issue or a sentence or an interaction. Then the AI analyzes it and decides if it's competitive banter, which is a normal part of the gaming experience, and genuinely harmful content. And we're going to get to what that means in a minute with a little more detail than they give here. But they say
they're using AI to do this.
Yes, this is all AI. So things get flagged in AI, and this is where things get messy, right? He's going to go into this here as far as their process here. AI initially flags it, and it comes down to they're going to start looking at people based off their perceived sex and race.
The emotions that we use in our speech and the sentiment right behind it. And when they decide that someone has violated the rules based on their AI analysis, the AI sends it up to be reviewed. And obviously, because of the way it works, most of them do get reviewed. All right. So what they're saying, and they have a lot of numbers, you can pull this information for yourself. However, what they end up getting into is that most of their reports result in an action. And they have a lot of actions. They have shadow bans. They have the whole system that we see otherwise, but they're tied into that whole system. So when you get into it, the problem lies in how they analyze speech and what they say about the speech that we make. ToxMod analyzes the tone, context, perceived intention of those filtered conversations using its advanced machine learning process. So what it's doing is it's listening to your voice and it's applying only its voice moderation on what it thinks is offensive content. There's a lot in this website to really dig through. We don't have time to dig through all of it without this video going over an hour and really frustrating me. All right. So we need to talk about what this company views as harmful conduct and how it gets to that point. And
this is where things go off the rails here, right? This is where things go crazy. The idea of perceived age, gender, and gender presentation. You're going to see some of the wording on this website is, I mean, it's shocking. And you wonder, as the thumbnail said today, how is this even legal? This is blatant discrimination based off of your voice of all things. Let's continue here.
What it is. They're trying to target white people.
I don't think you're wrong. And we're going to get to that here.
Encompasses when it talks about harmful conduct, because when you really dig into it on the surface, all of that seems acceptable. If you call someone a slur, you shouldn't do that. Twitch does a very similar thing. There are no words. There are words you don't say on Twitch. And if you do, you can get banned.
Yeah, right? One of them simp.
If you do it too much, you get permanently banned.
Wait. You can't say simp on Twitch?
For a while, I don't know if it's still in effect, but for a while, simp was an actionable word because most of their audience, what is it, Craig?
Yeah, I get it.
Most of their audience are simps.
Yeah.
Everybody understands that. And everybody adjusts their language. And
think about that. The idea you have to adjust your language. We have to adjust our language here on YouTube on a day-to-day basis. The fact that we have to do that is pathetic.
Loose enough so that as long as you're not using certain words, you get away with a lot on Twitch. All right. Kick is even more so. But I like to use Twitch as kind of the reference of if you can't say it on Twitch, don't say it in the game, is kind of the rule of thumb that a lot of people abide by. However, that's not how
those things evolve quickly too. Right now, one of the terms that a lot of the rage-induced leftists are using is called cute winter boots, which means resistance to Trump by action.
What they do?
Cute
What?
winter boots. It's what like a lot of the TikTokers and stuff are doing.
Uh-huh.
So to secretly discuss resistance to Trump, they're using the term "cute winter boots."
What is that? What is that a reference to?
Resistance to Trump.
It's an acronym.
QW.
Cute.
Oh,
like
C.
you're cute.
C.
Cute winter boots.
CWB.
No, they're just saying cute winter boots.
Yeah, I
Isn't
get
it-
it.
That's
Like
a term to take out Trump.
Yeah, I get it, but like that's just something they picked up on. Okay, that's interesting. It's kind
Yeah.
of like, it's like when we were
I
talking
just learned about it over the weekend.
Okay, I say cute is
Well, yeah, sorry, Chad. I shouldn't have said it's acronym. It was more like code.
It's code phrase.
Code. Yeah. Okay, code. All right. Well, it's like
Is that going to be banned? Because I guarantee you it won't.
right. It's like saying the coof over here on YouTube. You know, talking about the
System.
Okay,
works.
this is where things get dicey because you talk about how these things shift in real time. These things shift in real time with this ToxMod faster than that.
a lot of people abide by. However, that's not how this system works. All right. This system goes through and does an analysis of not just what you say, but how you say it. And it makes assumptions about who you are to decide whether or not what you said is allowed.
Oh shit! I don't even have it up.
That's problematic.
There we go.
It changes the rules based on who you are. It changes how it enforces the code of conduct based on who it thinks you are. Okay. And they admit that they can't tell 100% who's who. All right. They can't tell your gender 100%. They can't tell your gender identity, I should say 100%. They can't tell your age 100%. They can't tell your race 100%. But what they do as a company is they get together and they have conversations about what people sound like and what those people who sound certain ways are allowed to say and what they're not allowed to say.
It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be like that's from that scene in what is the name of that movie? American Fiction, where it's 2 black people and 7 white people, and they're discussing like black stuff, trying to figure out like, oh, what do black people sound like?
Right. It's literal racial profiling,
Yeah,
which I believe is literally against the law. I believe.
this is fucked up.
Yeah, this is fucked up.
And they hint to it in a lot of this conversation. You really have to dig in to really get the sense of what they're doing. But for example, perceived age and gender presentation. If there is a mix of perceived ages and perceived biological sexes present in a conversation, it can increase the overall risk of a clip. For example, due to gender-based harassment. What does that mean?
What if I just
It
started
means-
talking like this?
Yeah, right. What
Welcome to Jamaica, man.
or what if I want to start telling some Italiano jokes? Hey, Blabs, I want to start to talk with my hands a lot.
Welcome to Jamaica. Eat the banana.
Or what if I use a voice mod to change my voice to sound like a woman?
Yeah, how does that work for like VTubers and stuff?
Right. Wow. All of a sudden, huh? It's amazing.
Let's
how that
all
works.
be VTubers together.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't want to go through this whole thing, but he does go into how these things change in real time. Because here's the thing. If us 3 are playing a game of Call of Duty and we have mouths like sailors, right?
Yes.
Remember, there's proximity voice chat in Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're talking shit to each other, talking about how much we all suck or whatever, saying whatever, Blabs goes near a minor in the game
No.
and you say something, they can then in real time say, well, Blabs was around Craig and Flash, but as she moved to this portion of the map, she was around a minor, and all of a sudden that conversation is no longer okay.
Yikes.
So in real time, they're able to go, nope, you can't say that because that is a perceived threat to
Dang.
this 16-year-old kid who's playing Call of Duty.
A game that has a 18+ thing.
Bingo!
Exactly.
Right. Bingo. You're 100%
Rated M
right.
for mature.
What is a minor doing playing Call of Duty? Correct.
Right.
And you hit it on the head. Why are we worried about them? This isn't rated M for mature. We're all fucking grown-ass adults. That's the bigger issue here. You shouldn't have to be moderating an adult's speech when it comes to how they talk on a game, however they want to identify, however they want it, whatever, right? The point is that they're grown-ass adults, and grown-ass adults have conversations, and it is what it is. There's no reason that we should be worried about being around a child when playing Call of Duty. They're stepping into the Thunderdome. That's their priority. They will grow up because of that. Doesn't make any sense at all. All of a sudden, Like, yes, this is a really stupid service here. And we talked about this a while back. Rigor Mortis is right over here. It says, whatever happened to online interactions not rated by the ESRB? Man,
Right.
that's awesome. Correct.
Remember, that used to be right in the little thing, man.
Yes.
This is. I'm so glad Trump's back. Let's get this shit reversed.
Just the profiling alone seems blatantly illegal. The idea that, well, we think you're white. Well, and what, okay, let's just say there's a black guy who talks white, right? Whatever that means, or sounds white, or a white guy that sounds black, right? How does that work? You are literally racially profiling people. Let's say there's a guy who has an effeminate voice, or a woman who has deeper voice. We've all known women who have deeper voices, right?
So if you want to talk shit in Call of Duty, you just need to have a gay voice.
Right.
A gay,
Hey there,
black
bitches.
sounding voice, because that really screams profiling.
I'm gonna kill you.
There was a piece of this video here that I couldn't find it on the website, but he's referencing here, which is really amazing to see. And I want to see if I can find this real quick. But it actually says in the video on the website itself that if people identify, it said people identifying as black or brown. Now here we go. Got it right here.
Oh wait, that's in there.
Yes, right here. You can see right here. Does ToxMod define harm? See if you can find this on the website, Blabs. This is under like a technology website, the technology side. We also recognize that certain behaviors may be fundamental, okay, depending on the demographics of the participants. While the N-word is considered a vile slur, many players who identify as black or brown reclaim it and use it positively within their communities. I didn't know that you could identify as black or brown. These are things that we're learning here. Hey, congratulations. Good for them. And once
I am
again,
a black queen.
you are, Flash, and don't let anybody ever take that from
Right.
you, okay? That's the most amazing thing about this, is that you can identify as all of these things. And once again, what if as I'm playing, they profile me, they boot me from having voice chat in their games, and then I say, no, I'm a black female lesbian. Who are they to doubt my identity? They said they can identify however you want. And that's where the slippery slope is with this bullshit. It's amazing. This is so grossly illegal. I can't even imagine. Somebody has to discuss this. That's just why we're doing it. And once again, I think it's important, thanks to Blame Truth for bringing this to us. And then ultimately, Saboni over here, KD, with Sabone, I'm not quite sure how to say his name, but also for putting this video out. It's great stuff.